Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Ever wondered how New York City got its iconic look? It wasn't always skyscrapers and glass towers. Let's travel back in time, way back to the 1600s, to uncover the architectural roots of the city that never sleeps. Our story begins in 1624. Dutch settlers arrive and establish a bustling trading post called New Amsterdam. Forget the high-rises we know today? Think simple, practical structures. The first buildings were modest wooden houses with steep roofs, often featuring distinctive stepped gables. As the settlement grew, brick became more common, mirroring the architecture of their homeland, Amsterdam. These early buildings were all about function over flair, built to support a thriving community of traders and merchants at the very tip of Manhattan. Fast forward to the 18th century, and the British are now in control. With them comes a new wave of architectural fashion. The Georgian style, named after the British monarchs, takes hold. This style was all about symmetry, order, and classical proportions. Think balanced windows, grand entrances, and a sense of refined elegance. It was a statement of stability and British influence. A perfect surviving example is the Francis Tavern in Lower Manhattan. Originally a grand private home built in 1719, it has a beautiful glimpse into the city's Georgian past. After the American Revolution, a fresh sense of national pride swept the nation, and it was reflected in the architecture. The federal style emerged. It was similar to the Georgian style but with a lighter, more delicate touch. You'll see graceful details like curved arches, oval-shaped rooms, and decorative flourishes that celebrated the new republic's optimism. St. Paul's Chapel, where George Washington prayed after his inauguration, is a stunning example of this era. Completed in 1766 in a Georgian style, its later additions reflect the transition toward federal elegance. From the practical Dutch houses of New Amsterdam to the stately Georgian townhouses and the patriotic, federal-style buildings, New York's earliest architecture tells a story of transformation. It's a tale of a small trading post growing into a major city, shaped by trade colonial powers and the birth of a new nation. These foundational styles set the stage for the incredible architectural evolution that was yet to come. Thanks for joining me on this journey through early New York. If you enjoyed this glimpse into the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories hidden in our cityscapes. See you next time. Have you ever strolled through Brooklyn or Harlem and just marveled at those iconic reddish-brown row houses? They seem to define New York City, right? Well, today we're diving into the story behind them. The brownstone revolution that completely reshaped the city from the 1830s to the 1880s. Before this era, New York was mostly a jumble of wood and brick. But as the city boomed, a new material emerged as the face of respectable, urban living: brownstone. This sandstone, quarried from places like New Jersey and Connecticut, was easy to carve and gave buildings a uniform, sophisticated look. Suddenly, it was everywhere, becoming the ultimate symbol that you had made it in New York. So who lived in these? They were designed for the rapidly growing middle-class families who wanted elegance and space without the astronomical price tag of a standalone mansion. Architects drew inspiration from Europe, leading to two dominant styles. First came the Greek Revival, with its clean lines, stately columns, and classic refined feel. Think of a temple dedicated to family life. Then things got a bit more ornate with the Italianate style. These brownstones featured grand arched doorways, elaborate window crowns, and those signature high stoops that are so perfect for people watching. The stoop wasn't just for show. It elevated the main living floor, or parlor floor, away from the noise and dirt of the 19th century streets, while service areas were tucked away below. Inside, these homes were surprisingly spacious. You'd find a grand parlor for entertaining guests, a formal dining room, and multiple bedrooms spread across several floors. It was the perfect blend of public grandeur and private comfort, all neatly packaged in a row house. This architectural boom created some of New York's most cherished neighborhoods. Think of the endless tree-lined streets of Park Slope in Brooklyn, or the majestic rows on the Upper West Side and in Harlem. Each district developed its own unique character, but they were all united by that warm brownstone glow. These weren't just buildings. They were communities, built row by row. So the next time you see a brownstone, remember you're looking at more than just a pretty facade. You be seeing a piece of New York's soul, a revolution in stone that defined what it meant to live, dream, and build a family in this incredible city. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this little trip back in time, Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you won't miss our next adventure. See you in the comments. Today, we will be taking a trip back in time to one of the most extravagant periods in American history, the Gilded Age. From the 1880s to the 1910s, new fortunes forged in industry, railroads, and finance transformed the landscape of cities, especially New York. It was an era of unprecedented wealth, and nowhere was this more apparent than in its architecture. Imagine strolling down Fifth Avenue back then. It wasn't just a street. It was Millionaire's Row. This was the playground of America's wealthiest families, a place where they competed to build the most magnificent homes imaginable. We're talking about dynasties like the Vanderbilts and the Astors. Their mansions weren't just houses. They were palaces designed to rival the chateaux of European royalty. These families were showcasing their status, and their homes were the ultimate symbols of power and prestige. The architectural styles of the era were all about making a statement. Drawing heavy inspiration from Europe, architects embraced the Beaux-Arts and Romanesque styles. Think grand staircases, intricate carvings, soaring columns, and gilded everything. It was a fusion of classical elegance and over-the-top luxury. The goal was to create an atmosphere of permanence and aristocracy in a rapidly changing nation. Architects like the legendary firm McKim, Mead and White were the masters of this new opulence, shaping the very definition of what it meant to be wealthy in America. While many of the original mansions on Fifth Avenue are gone, the spirit of the Gilded Age lives on in some of New York's most iconic landmarks. Take the Andrew Carnegie Mansion, now the Cooper Hewitt Design Museum. It was considered modern for its time, yet still dripping with elegance. Or look at Grand Central Terminal, a breathtaking cathedral of transportation built at the tail end of the era. Its celestial ceiling and grand concourse still inspire awe. Even the Flatiron building, a marvel of early skyscraper engineering, captures the ambition and forward-looking energy of this incredible time. These structures are more than just buildings. They're stone and steel testaments to an age of boundless ambition and unforgettable grandeur. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey into the Gilded Age. If you enjoyed this glimpse into the past, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures in history and architecture. See you in the next video. Have you ever looked up at a city skyline and just felt a sense of awe? That incredible feeling, that towering ambition, much of it was born in a single, explosive era. Let's travel back in time to the 1910s through the 1930s, when the modern city as we know it first scraped the sky. So what was the secret sauce? Two game-changing ingredients: steel frame construction and the safety elevator. Before this, buildings were limited by the sheer weight of their own walls. But with strong, lightweight steel skeletons, the only way to build was up. And thanks to Elisha Otis's invention, the elevator, people could actually reach those new heights without climbing 1,000 stairs. Suddenly, the sky was no longer the limit. It was the new frontier. This combination didn't just allow for taller buildings, it sparked a full-blown skyscraper boom. But these new giants weren't just about height. They were about style. This was the dawn of the Art Deco era, a period that celebrated glamour, geometry, and progress. Architects began dressing their steel frames in elegant limestone and terracotta, adding intricate geometric patterns, sunburst motifs, and gleaming metallic details. They weren't just constructing buildings. They were sculpting monuments to the modern age. The skyline became a canvas, and every new skyscraper was a bold brushstroke of beauty and optimism. And from this artistic explosion, titans were born. Think of the Chrysler Building, with its magnificent shimmering crown that looks like it was plucked from a futuristic fantasy. Or the undisputed king, the Empire State Building, which raced to completion in just over a year, becoming a global symbol of human achievement. Let's not forget Rockefeller Center, a true city within a city, blending commerce, art, and public space in a way that had never been seen before. These weren't just buildings. They were declarations. Through this incredible fusion of technology and art, one city, in particular, became the blueprint for the modern metropolis, New York City. Its skyline, forged in steel and decorated with Art Deco flair, became the iconic image of urban life in the 20th century. It set the standard for cities all over the world, proving that we could build our dreams right into the clouds. So next time you see a skyscraper, remember the pioneers of the early 20th century who dared to build higher and dream bigger. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this trip through architectural history, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories like this. See you next time! Ever look up at a city skyline and wonder how it got that way? How we went from brick and stone to towering glass and steel? Well, today, we're taking a whirlwind tour through the last 80 years of architecture to find out. Let's rewind to the 1940s. After World War II, a new spirit of optimism and progress swept the globe, and architecture was right there with it. This was the dawn of modernism. Think clean lines, open spaces, and a whole lot of glass and steel. The philosophy was less is more. A perfect example is the Seagram building in New York City. It's sleek, elegant, and unapologetically modern. It set the stage for countless corporate headquarters around the world, creating the glass box look we associate with mid-century cities. For decades, this minimalist style reigned supreme. But by the 1970s and 80s, some architects started to feel that modernism was a bit too cold and impersonal. They wanted to bring back personality, history, and even a little bit of fun. Enter postmodernism. This movement wasn't afraid to play with color, different shapes, and historical references. Take the AT&T building, now the Sony building, with its famous Chippendale top that looks like a piece of classical furniture. Or look at the incredible Hearst Tower, a modern glass structure bursting out of a historic 1920s base. Postmodernism reminded us that buildings could be playful and tell a story. So, where are we today? In the 21st century, the conversation has shifted again. Now, the biggest question is, how can our buildings work with the planet, not against it? Welcome to the era of sustainable and smart design. We're talking green roofs that fight urban heat, smart windows that adjust to sunlight, and systems that recycle water. One World Trade Center, for example, was built with recycled materials and cutting-edge energy-saving features. And massive developments like Hudson Yards in New York are designed as entire smart neighborhoods, integrating technology and eco-friendly practices from the ground up. From the clean elegance of modernism to the creative splash of postmodernism, and now to the green, intelligent designs of today, our cities are always evolving. Architecture is no longer just about building impressive structures. It's a delicate balance between art, function, and our responsibility to the environment. What started as a race to the sky has become a journey toward a smarter, greener future. What's your favorite architectural style? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through time, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures in design and history. See you in the next one.